That's supposed to be your scary
Was
Halloween.
that scary?
No, not at all.
No. Oh, there you go.
Oh, is that better?
That's scary?
No.
What's scary?
Yeah. We're a week away from that, aren't we? Not even. Oh, it's this
I don't even
weekend.
know. Is it this coming weekend?
Oh, it's
Halloween?
Monday.
Halloween.
I'm just tripping out.
This
'cause
coming Monday.
Next week is November.
No shit.
Yes, it is.
That trips me out. I'm excited at the same time.
Yeah, it seemed to happen quick too. I don't know.
All right, well, it's October 25th, 2022. Dudes Like Us, I'm Sean.
I am Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
We've got lots of cool things to talk about today.
We
Lots
do.
of really cool things. We've got Halloween events that are popping up. We've got people that have died. We got people that are still in prison we need to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We found out that there's a whole species in the ocean that are communicating that we didn't realize they made noise, but they do.
Are those sea cucumbers?
I think they may be part of the list. I'm uncertain.
I think they're sand dollars.
Are they mollusks?
Yeah.
I thought they were sand dollars.
You know what? I don't know. I got to actually Google sand dollars.
No, you really don't.
I don't. What do they look like when they're alive? Do they look the same as they are when they're dead?
They look like shrimp.
No, they don't.
I have no idea.
That's a shrimp. It's a hat that they wear.
I thought it was some
Hello,
sort
my
of
baby.
shell.
Hello, my darling.
I thought it was
No.
some sort of shell. So
No.
really, that is when you find a sand dollar, that is a dead creature.
Well, you came over to my house yesterday. Did you
I
see
know.
the sand dollars?
I did, but I've always thought they were.
It's like coral, isn't
I
it?
thought they were coral.
Yeah. It's a type of,
Well, those
I think
are.
it's corally type
But that's
things.
an organic creature, right? Coral.
Well, yeah. So then the hard exoskeleton is what's left once they die.
So it is like a shell,
So I guess
like armor.
like a crab shell
Well, yeah, like a crab shell.
or a clam.
All right, so I've actually I pulled up a picture of a sand dollar since we were unable to acquire one from anyone. So they basically look like a flat starfish, essentially.
Well,
Do they
yeah.
got arms that shoot out from the
Yeah.
sides?
No, well, it's disc shaped. It's thicker though, and then when they die, I guess they lose that thickness, and the burrs fall off, leaving a flat disc shaped 5 tipped star.
So it's like a sand dollar pelt.
Well, they call them sand dollars.
Yes,
There's
the
not
pelt.
You could skin it.
It's a
and wear
sea
it.
pelt.
well, hey, look,
So,
I-
hold on. They start out like a squishy tentacle-y looking thing that walks around.
I'm uncertain. Click on the bottom left, Mr. Producer, where it says alive and dead. All right, so
Yeah,
they look extremely similar, except one is
probably squishy.
like Jeff says, has some pelt about it.
Yes.
The exoskeleton is left in the. I think Mother Nature is amazing. The shape of these things.
I would agree.
And when they die, it's just that they're so perfect, and they're all obviously different. But I just think it's amazing.
have you ever seen? You know how they take those probes or those.
Whoa!
Well, no, I'm not changing the
Probes.
subject. Same subject. Where they take those submersibles and they go down to the crazy deep ocean, right? And
yeah.
it's like
Oh,
super
yeah.
dark, and they have these like really bright colored
It's
creatures.
Bruce from Jacques Cousteau, and we're here to search the bottom of the
I don't remember any of that
Bermuda
on the one I watched.
Triangle.
Anyway, so
No.
when they're they're super slow, but they show it on like fast motion
All right.
where they start like
It's like a dead whale falls to the bottom and they eat it.
yes, exactly, and they all look
Oh.
like tarantulas moving super fast, but they're all like super slow.
Well, they also have the huge cephalopods, which look like the pill buds, little gray pill bugs that you find in your garden. Those little roly polies.
Oh yeah.
Well, they have ones in the sea that are like a
Gigantic.
foot long. Yeah, they're
Oh, wow.
huge cephalopods, and
They have that many feet.
they
Cephalopod.
have all the legs and everything, and they're down deep. And I think they're called I can't remember what they're called, but they eat all those. They're carnivores, not carnivores, but what do they call those things that eat up all the dead things? Scavengers,
Scavengers.
right?
I
So
think
hold
for
on.
the,
You said cephalopod. What is an octopus? That is a something
An
pod.
octopod.
I don't know.
Something a pod.
Yeah,
Could
I think
Guliopod.
octopus are also amazing as far as a creature goes. Before how they can shove themselves into tiny orifice and just like 2 inches
Like
in
a
diameter.
gerbil.
Oh, oh, yeah. I guess.
Yeah. Gerbils you can stick in a very small orifice.
Well, I mean, octopus are just like they spread out. They're big. It's like 2 or 3 feet, and all of a sudden they can squeeze down into this little hole so they can escape. And
Says it's a 8-limbed mollusk
Okay,
of the
now,
order Octopoda.
well, octopod. Just like cephalopod must be, what's cephala? Is that like a...
And is grouped within the class Cephalopoda.
with squids,
Oh,
squids,
so it is a
cuttlefish.
cephalopod.
Nautiloids, bilaterally symmetric with 2 eyes and a beaked mouth.
Ugh.
That's so they can crack open their skulls. Can you imagine the creatures down there? First of all, a human being down there will get crushed
Just
by the
disintegrate.
weight
Well,
of
there
the.
it says the soft body can radically alter its shape, enabling octopuses to squeeze through small gaps.
Is it octopuses or octopi?
It says octopuses.
I don't like
well,
that
that's
word. I like
interesting.
octopi better.
Did you like octopussy?
Or octopodes.
That was a movie. That was a James Bond movie.
It was.
Octopussy.
It was. I saw that.
That should be offensive. How they get away with that?
No, it's
Octopussy.
octopuses.
Because it was back in the 80s and it was allowed back then.
What,
Huh.
octopussy?
Or maybe late 70s.
So it was a woman that had, you know what?
What if
Anyways,
what if they named Batwoman or Batcat or Catwoman Cat Pussy Woman?
Pussy galore.
Well, you know, they've got all kinds of crazy artists out there that do all. I mean, there are music artists out there that are just rank as fuck and saying all kinds of horrible things.
Well, look
all
at the
over
number
our-
one hit. What was it? Wet ass.
Wet ass.
Yeah, WAP.
Oh,
WAP.
Wet ass P.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
speaking of
I mean,
these
it's crazy. It was the number one hit in the United
these
States
fish,
for like 8 weeks.
there was a scientist found that there were 53 sea creatures previously thought to be silent. That they could actually communicate. The creatures were sending messages all along, but humans had never thought to listen to them. His name is Gabriel Horwich Gohan suggests he used microphones to record the species, including turtles communicating that they wanted to mate or hatch from an egg. The findings claimed to rewrite some of the sound to communicate descended from over single ancestor 400 years ago. Whatever. I'm going to skip down to the bottom. Like sea turtles, for example, will sing from within their egg to synchronize hatching. So I thought that was kind of cool. Just that one little
That's cool.
thing. You
So
know,
I bet you if they translated, it would be like, "What's up, baby?"
Sup.
you guys ready, man?
What's
I hear
up?
there's some tacos down
Oh.
there. We ready to?
Baby, you are fine.
Well, hold on.
Damn.
This is. Oh, you're talking about the mating.
The mating.
Oh, I was thinking about
What's
coming
up,
out of the
baby?
egg.
So it's like they're texting or sending like a dick pic.
Yeah,
They're
they're
meeting.
sending each other junk.
Wow,
Junk
it's a,
pic.
it's a audible junk pic.
Yes.
So it's
Hey,
the sound
baby,
when it,
show me your junk.
it's like, well, watch it hit the ground. Oh, let me see that. You want to hear it again?
And this guy translating it's like, man, what a bunch of freaking horn dogs.
Yeah. The creatures included 50 turtles, a tatura, a lungfish, and a Sicilian. I don't
A
know what a
lungfish.
Sicilian
A
is.
lungfish.
That's a coelacanth, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the guys like the lungfish chick.
Oh yeah.
Those are the.
ones-
I think I think that's a coelacanth. Isn't that the one that can go on land?
An amphibian.
Well, it's not quite, but it's.
You know, there was another
Amphibious.
story. Did you guys see the story of the whale that was trapped, had a rope stuck in its mouth, and these boats were going after it to try to free itself. To free him from, and there was like sperm whale. So one sperm whale is leading with a rope between its mouth. 2 sperm whales are on either side of it, and there's 2 or 3 boats going after the lead one to try to cut the rope. And so they're trying to, and they have it all on video. And the guy's got his hook out, and he's trying to grab the rope. And finally, he grabs it, and then he's trying to grab another rope and trying to cut it on both sides. Well, the sperm whale tucks his tail under and does a backflip and frees itself from the rope. And they were stunned. They were completely stunned. They have the whole thing on video. It flips over, not in the air. They made it sound like it jumped out of the water and did a backflip in the air. It doesn't do that. It just does a backflip underwater. It was the coolest thing ever.
a little contortionist.
Yeah, it was super cool, and it wasn't this. Yeah. Anyway,
Well, I see all kinds of little videos like that
a
where
lot of cool things
you've got
happening in the
these-
ocean right now.
They got these people that catch seals. Seals are getting caught up in nets all the time, and these guys are out on the beaches and they're chasing after them, and they capture the little seal and they're snipping it with the little
Saving it.
scissors, and whatever. So I went to Florida a couple. I just got back this past week, and I don't know. I was exposed to some of the sea stuff down there. I thought it was kind of cool. Went there for work.
Yay! You walked around picking up all these things that were illegal to leave the state.
Well, I'm kind of curious about that. Is it legal to remove the seashells from the state of Florida?
I think it's a Class 2 felony.
A Class 2 felony. Huh?
Death.
I don't know. There are some. I mean, there's some.
Oh,
rules.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know about seashells, but there
Death
are
by conch shell.
like when you go to there's some national parks where you're not allowed to, pick up.
You can't remove rocks or trees.
Yeah,
and
you
stuff.
can't be messing with stuff and carrying things
Well,
out.
it's
the
not a
ocean.
park, it's an
well,
ocean,
the
you know?
beach is always changing, right? So if you grab a shell, I don't think that's.
Yeah, I don't
Really
know. I
do
was
that.
just trying to make Sean feel like he was going to jail, but
Well, I
because they
harvested.
can't seem to nail him on anything.
I harvested
Well, you found
a lot
some
of
live ones, right?
Yeah, I ended up returning those live ones. I didn't want
You should
those.
have fried them up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should have sucked him out of the skull like an oyster.
Like
those-
fritters.
No, that was because these were they were not like clams or anything. These were cool shells. I mean, I've been all over. I've been to many beaches all over the planet, and these Florida's got a whole different species when it comes to shells. I mean, they look like the large cool shells. You know, the spiral. I don't even know the name. I'm going to call it a conch. Is that how you say it? Conch
It's
shell?
like a small version of that, right?
The concholopods.
The conch.
Yeah. So there were smaller versions of it, and there were some things that were alive in there, little arms that stuck out, and
these little legs come out.
yeah, when they came out, I was kind of like deal breaker. I put those back.
Yeah, they're kind of creepy.
Yeah, except because I accidentally brought one up into the room because when I say accidentally, I mean I had like 12.
So it's
in
like
a
walking
little
all over
bag.
your end table.
No, I put them immediately in the sink in the hotel room, and I ran the hot water on and to
cool.
clean them. So I put some soap in there. I was trying to clean them off, and
And
all
one
of a
trying
sudden
to escape.
this little
They're like, my
this
God,
little
man.
tongue is coming out of it. And I'm like, oh my God, what is that? It was disgusting.
Yeah,
So I ended up taking him and throwing him off the ninth floor balcony.
nice.
Nice.
You didn't even walk him back to the beach to reunite him with his family.
I think he was gone.
Yeah, what an a-hole.
Well, he had hot, unsalted water and soap on him. So
Right.
Yeah,
probably
he
just
was,
sit there. Probably cooked them.
he was gone.
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably could have eaten them.
Yeah.
probably a little salt. It's actually kind of cool.
I'm sure people do
A
eat
little
them.
soy sauce. Dip it in.
Nah, I'll tell
sounds
you what,
gross.
my job usually slaps me in the middle of some devastation or some devastated areas, and the place where I was at held up pretty well from Hurricane Ian. So there wasn't even, there were some landscape issues that they had that were quickly rectified by the time I got there.
Yeah, it
you
didn't
know.
ruin your resort
So it's
experience.
just like
No,
a
it
full blown
did not.
resort, all you can eat,
Yeah.
all inclusive.
No,
Yeah, so
no.
we're expecting you to
No.
be tromping along the completely destroyed buildings and homes, and,
Yeah,
Uh,
haven't
well,
and
you-
then
no.
you send us a picture of with your feet up with a pool in the background,
Yeah.
and there's a drink in your hand.
with an umbrella in it.
Yeah, and we're
Yeah.
like, how's that devastation going out
Yes.
there?
Yeah, well, there were some areas there were some horrible areas
Oh,
that I went to,
horrible.
man. There was
Just not where you were at.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
apparently.
where I was staying at, there was different. I mean, I had to pick what was available, and frankly, I didn't even pick it. It was a service that picked it,
Nice.
and they try to team up our company where they block off a set of rooms collectively. So
Did you have
that
other people staying at that hotel with you?
there were a few out there.
Oh,
I
from
mean,
your company, you mean?
yeah, they kept to themselves. It was kind of bummed out, but I mean, this is a rare event that we went down there and we weren't as busy as we wanted to be.
Right.
We were kind of, I think, we're I want to say disappointed, but I mean, we just expected more. We expected to be a lot busier, and
Right.
frankly, I'm already done. I did my work, and usually the work lasts 6 weeks, 8 weeks after to the conclusion, even months. And I'm already done. It's been not even a week.
It's amazing how after a devastating hurricane like that, it just goes away. Like The news stops talking about it.
Oh yeah.
And then, like, everybody just moves on.
The only
I mean,
news-
it can literally be less than a week later where people are like, what?
Those-
What are you talking about?
but they're still devastated down there. In
They're-
spots.
they're-
Oh, they're wiped out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but the buildings that I mean, there are some buildings that are just fantastically built. I mean,
Right.
they're rated
Designed.
for hurricane.
Yeah, designed
Class
to
5.
withstand that. Yeah.
And I mean, they had guests staying at the place where I was at during the hurricane. That's how confident they were in their
Yeah,
their
safer to be
structure.
there than other places.
It was.
Probably.
Now, that's not true about an hour north on the west coast of Florida where I was at. I went to a place called Big Hickory Island, and that place, I've got pictures of a boat on top of a BMW. I got pictures of a BMW or of some car like that in a tree.
Right.
You know, it was crazy. You know, the
Yeah,
water
that's
came
all
in
storm surge, right?
huge, big flood came in up, 12 foot in certain areas, and these buildings. So right on the coast, it's mostly large buildings in specific
it's
areas.
resorts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
resorts or
Large
condos,
buildings.
right?
And then on the other side of the
Right.
street, a lot of times they have smaller structures,
Right.
and those big buildings saved the smaller structures from like the wind exposure.
Right.
But they still were trampled on with the flood. So if they have these 2 and 3 story buildings, if they are still standing, the first floor is gone. And
Right.
completely gone, because those are usually garages.
Right. They're
And then
wiped
there's-
clean.
Yeah, they're gone. And then upstairs, it looks like nothing happened at all. It's kind of like,
Yeah. Crazy.
but there was
It was a bad one, though.
Well, I know they said that the Tampa Bay, the water actually pulled out of Tampa Bay
like a vacuum.
like a vacuum. So it not. I don't know if it emptied it,
Siphoned.
but it pulled the water out because they were afraid Tampa Bay was going to get hit. But what happened is the water actually got pulled out of the bay.
It never came back.
Quite a bit. Well, no, it's like,
And never came back. And now all the people who had beachfront
Yeah.
are
no, it's
very
just-
upset
Son
because
of a bitch.
they're really far away from the water
you
now.
know. So I found that interesting. That it
Yeah,
was
I
actually,
mean, when you're talking about a category, 4 or 5 hurricane, that its impact is unbelievable, and people just can't fathom. I mean,
that's why I'll never live in an area like that. I'll visit.
what blows me away is like, I'm not evacuating. I'm gonna wait it out.
Well, you know what? Some of these
And
guys.
so many times they do, and then the one time they don't,
There were people waiting for
right on their roofs. Yeah,
waiting on the roofs. Did we say that last week? People
Probably
waiting
go
on
on-
the
happens every
roofs.
time.
Probably going. Yeah, we should have left.
Yeah,
Yeah, and hats off to DeSantis. They got folks that were waiting to bust his balls. And it didn't happen. He was on his.
Well, they
front
rebuilt
game.
that Sanibel
Yeah.
Bridge like completely.
Boom.
They temporarily
I
had it
know.
up in 3 days, but it's cement rebuilt everything now.
and then you have Kamala Harris, who's saying that FEMA is going to, communities of color are always harder hit in these type of disasters, and so
Why?
the aid is going to be given in terms of equity.
So hurricanes are racist now. They're like, ooh, here's an underprivileged neighborhood.
Right.
Let's go hit it.
Right. Yeah. Well, they are. Hurricanes are always racist. But no. But seriously, she was saying
yeah.
that the aid was going to be dispersed on an equity basis, right? And so that made a bunch of people panic in Florida ahead of the hurricane. And the FEMA director, who was, all these people are supposed to be nonpartisan.
Nonpartisan.
Right. They're supposed to be bureaucrats who are great at their jobs regardless of who's in power. But we know that's not the head of every agency is handpicked by a partisan politician like Biden or Biden's team. Right. Anyway, but the FEMA director said Kamala Harris's comments are not helpful. And that is not the way we're going to be dispensing aid. So everybody can just, relax.
What made her say that?
She's an idiot.
What made her say that? To think that's what would. She just thought of that idea and like, oh, now they're going to do it because I'm the vice president?
Well, because, every opportunity they have to talk about, to push their agenda of equity, right? So now they're talking about hurricanes. So they're like, oh, okay, well, hurricanes coming. That's going to affect,
Right.
communities of color and equity, and they need to be taken care of first. You know what I mean? It's just they're spitballing, right? And so she just says stupid stuff. But I was proud of the FEMA director to say Kamala Harris's comments are not helpful, and she needs to stop. is
Right.
basically what she said.
Right.
That was great.
Yeah, it was great. I was like, okay, that's a bureaucrat doing their job. Like, you know, trying to solve problems and trying to be ready.
Unlike the
and
CDC chick.
right, exactly. and partnering with the governor, partnering with the governor's team, not because it's right or wrong or, how it looks or, who voted for what. It is so that people don't die, right? That communities are in the best possible preparation to not have a loss of life, right?
Right.
That's exactly the way the government should work.
And I think that still happens, but unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't think that way anymore. I think they still do at a certain age, but I think a younger crew, everything's so hyper politicized now.
Yeah.
I was hearing, I don't know if it was the Five, where they're like, people don't want to live in cities that have Republicans in them.
Right.
So they only want to live in cities that think like them.
Right.
So we're getting even more and more segregated by our
Polarized.
beliefs.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, it was interesting. So I voted today. My wife and I and my oldest son, they came over to, or my oldest son came up to celebrate my birthday. That was last weekend, and we went and voted. But before we went there, I had this junk mail on my counter, and one of them was trying to encourage you to be educated about who the candidates are and what they stand for.
Right.
So it had Democrats on the left-hand side and Republicans on the right-hand side, and it had a listing of issues in the middle of it, right? And it would say yes, no, yes, no, yes,
I've got
no.
that downstairs.
Exactly. Okay. And my son was looking at it, and every single one of them was exact opposite. Like never was there a column that had both no's or a column or a row that had both yeses. And my son was like, "How is that possible?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Look at this. How is it possible that not one of these people, think differently than or think similarly as somebody across the aisle for at least one issue on this card?" And I said, "That's exactly the problem, son. That is exactly the problem."
Yep, it is.
Because I can promise you, there are Democrats out there that are pro-life. And guess what? There are Republicans out there that are pro-choice.
Sure.
So,
But we're so
on the voting. When you went and vote, did they say whether they're Republican or Democrat?
What?
On the ballot?
On the ballot?
On the ballot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Of course. But what they removed that they've had in the past, and maybe it's just presidential
Was the
elections,
straight
the straight ticket
Yeah.
thing. I noticed that. You have to go through every single candidate.
That's been a couple of election cycles now.
Yeah. And because I did remember that. I was like, yeah, I don't think they're going to have that. Because my wife was like, I'm just going to punch the Republican thing. And I usually do anyway.
Even when that was there, I never did the straight ticket because I didn't trust it. I was like, I want to look at each one. I want to punch each one.
Right.
So I always did. I never did straight ticket. Even though I did in the end,
Yeah.
I never used that selection.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, and yes, should we all be educated enough about every single race at every single level to where there might be one candidate that resonates with us more than somebody that is aligned to our own party? Probably. But for the most part, back to my original point, all the Democrats think a certain way, all the Republicans think a certain way in terms of the issues for the most part.
Well, you have to toe the party line these
You do.
days. It's even more so than I think it has been in the past.
Yeah. I think it's more so than ever.
I mean, if you remember when Manchin held out for one of the votes.
Yeah.
And they were Cinema, and they were just
They wanted to kill them.
beside themselves.
They literally got death threats.
Why can't you toe the party line
Right.
instead of do what your constituency wants? Ultimately, Manchin caved,
He did cave.
but Cinema, I think
She never did.
she never did.
Yeah, I'm proud
So,
of her.
Like they want to get rid of the filibuster.
I know.
And still, both of them are like, no, we're not doing that.
Well,
Right.
they both utilize the filibuster, and
Well, both parties, for sure, forever.
yeah, both parties. So it's just like whatever's convenient. And it's interesting to find out their arguments, or Republicans are trying to pass something,
Yes.
and then all
That's
of a
what it
sudden the
boils down to.
Democrats are, we want to keep the filibuster, and then it's vice versa. When it's a joke after a while.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
What do
Anyway,
we,
I thought that was interesting insight or feedback my son was giving me, because that's a lot of young people, like, I think they just, I don't know. I don't think they're clued into kind of like the intricacies of politics, right?
I do
So-
wish it was easier for college students to vote. I know they could register down at College Station or up in Arkansas or drive home, but your son may be able to up in Arkansas. I think if you're out of state,
Right.
I think you can absentee ballot, but our boys cannot. They'd have to drive home, or they'd have to register down there in College Station.
Interesting. Is it too late for him to? I'll look into
I don't
that.
know. I don't know
I'll
because
look
I
into
looked
that.
yesterday and they said college students that are out of state can absentee ballot.
Okay, I'll look
But
into
if
that.
you're in state, you cannot. You have to
Okay.
either register where you're going or drive home and do it,
That makes sense.
which sucks because
Yeah, because they're not going to come home
they're not going to drive home for that.
for that. No.
Yeah,
I mean, I was lucky to have my son drive. Actually, the only reason why he drove up is because of my birthday, not because, hey, Dad, I want to come home and vote with you guys. I mean, that you'll never hear him say that,
right.
right? So, and he said, I don't care about any of those stupid elections like mayor elections and city council elections. I just vote for president and whatever.
Well, it's those smaller ones that actually dictate more policy that affects you.
That's what I told him. I said, it's the school board. You may not care about school boards right now, but someday you might.
Right.
Because, if you have kids or when you have kids. But the city council, absolutely, makes decision for you. If you're like, why the hell can't we buy, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, the city council just passed an ordinance, and you can't buy that anymore.
Right.
That kind of thing. So, anyway, interesting.
It's good. Yeah, I plan on going to vote sometime this week.
Yeah. Oh,
because I don't want to deal with it on election day.
Well, and you know what? I read something very interesting. So, apparently, Democrats are totally crushing Republicans in early voting numbers. And so there was this strategist, who was it? Carl Morris? No, Dick Morris? Do you know what that is?
Dick Morris, yeah.
Who's Dick Morris?
He was with Clinton for a while.
Okay.
And he kind of
changed
sides, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Dick Morris was like, I've been warning the Republican Party over and over and over again, and they're doing it again. They're not getting their voters out for early voting. And I was like, and they're like, and they always pride themselves on crushing the opposition on election day. But he made a good point. He goes, why leave that to chance? Because so many people, for one reason or another, don't vote on election day, even though they intended to.
Right.
Right. It's raining that day. They're late to pick up their kid. They read on the news that there's no, they, for one reason or another, felt like there's no point.
Well, I want to do it just so I don't have to stand in line.
Right. Or they don't want to stand in line. And so he was just hammering, Republican strategists and I guess the Republican National Committee or Convention or Committee in general about not making that a bigger deal. Anyway, so yeah, it had me a little worried. I mean, I don't know if
it's out of our hands. You could vote, and that's all you can do.
That's all you can do. Well, you can vote a couple times.
Well, this is true.
And
Via
so
mail.
They made you check. They checked your ID when you walked in.
No, you have to give them your ID.
Yeah,
and then they
So
scan
what if
it.
you're, let's say, from out of the country? Would you be able to get in there and vote?
No.
No, you have to be registered in that county
Oh,
to vote. Yeah.
so how does that work? There's talk that all these illegal aliens are able to vote. So how are they voting
Not
in Texas?
here.
Not here.
Not in Texas.
No, in New York and California, they're letting them vote, which is
I thought that was against our
Constitution.
It's a state law. States run the election laws.
I thought that was
That's why each state can change the rules like they did last time.
But I thought it was
Right.
against the Constitution. You have to be a citizen of the United States.
Not to vote, apparently. I don't know how they're getting around it.
I don't know.
It must not be in the Constitution, obviously.
Or the Bill of Rights.
Or the Bill
So
of
the
Rights.
question is, do you have to be a citizen to vote in the United States?
I'm obviously going to go with no. But
Well, tell you what, we'll pull. So how long do we have? Is it November 8th we have to vote? When is
when is Election Day? 7th?
It's that Tuesday, so it's the first on.
It's a Tuesday, then it is the 8th.
Yeah.
November 8th.
So it's that first.
So they're open tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
All
open every day until then.
All right, so I'll go tomorrow. I'll find time. I've got an inspection tomorrow at 10:30. So if you want, I'll come by and scoop you up after that.
Text me because I got some calls tomorrow. If I'm available, I'll go with you.
It'll be 1:30.
Anyway, I do recommend that because it was a piece of cake.
So US.gov, who can vote? You can vote in U.S. federal, state, local elections if you are a U.S. citizen. Some areas allow non-citizens to vote in local elections only. Meet your state's residency or requirements. You may be homeless or you may be a loser. Or are 18 years older on your birthday before Election Day. Some areas allow 16-year-olds to vote in local elections only.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Local elections only. So some are allowing non-citizens or as young as 16 to vote
So they can't vote
in
for
local
Senate
elections.
or Congress or presidency.
That's right. They can
But they
only
can-
vote for governor,
Mayor, governor,
city council, school board. Okay, well, that's a little.
Well, what about House of Representatives?
No, that's
that's
federal.
Congress, that's district, though, isn't it?
No.
That's
Well,
federal. We have state reps. They should be able to vote for those. They just can't do your the
Right.
Congress.
Right.
You can't vote for those.
Well, I mean, like District 15, for example, Congressman Gonzalez. I mean, is he part of Congress or?
He's part of Congress.
yes. So,
So-
if it's Washington, D.C., right?
Yeah.
Congress people or senators, that's not local.
But state legislature that meets in Austin,
Yes,
Mhm.
you could vote for them.
that's right. And those have senators and representatives
Correct.
because it's a
That's
two-chamber house.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it
Right.
is ridiculous, but I tell you what, I'm encouraged reading that because it's not as impactful as what I thought. You know what I mean?
It'll just dictate the direction of that state.
Yeah, and you know what? To me, California's lost anyway. New York's lost anyway. If they want to make it worse by letting non-legal residents vote and continue, I mean, I don't know what direction that takes them, but whatever.
Whatever came about with the July 6th, did they have some sort of
January 6th.
January 6th? Did they have some sort of thing on TV?
Well, they had another
and-
one.
There's
and,
another dud.
And they voted to subpoena Trump
Yeah. Well,
to come in to testify.
Well, apparently, who was the dude that worked for Trump that got he was brought up on charges of fraud because he was going to take private money and build the wall?
Bannon?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you,
Steve
Steve Bannon.
Bannon.
Apparently, he's going to jail because for 3 days because he is denying the subpoena, and they're literally going to send him to jail.
For 3 days.
Now, do they have a no bail on that deal?
Yeah, no
Can
shit.
will they let him out immediately?
They should.
And then he can deny it again and go right back to jail, and they let him out immediately again.
Right. It's just like a cycle.
Yeah.
Do you see the one? I think I sent you one where the guy pushed the guy in the subway. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's so. I saw that and I was
It was
like,
100% premeditated. He
Oh,
puts
he
his
put
bag down, starts to scope it out.
Yeah.
Did that guy die or get hurt? Or
I don't know.
No, he jumped out. He got back out. Yeah, he made it out.
I'm sure he hurt himself, but yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't. He didn't
Well, yeah.
get crunched.
And so, did they let him go? They let him out
I don't
already?
know. I don't know if they ever
I
caught
don't
the
think
guy.
they found him. They've got pictures of him trying to escape, but I've never heard anything about, it's premeditated, but it turned out that the dude didn't get hurt, except for, maybe an abrasions or something like that. But
Then
yeah,
there-
they got photographs of him
There he
jumping
is,
over.
right on right there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, look
exactly
at this.
him. Yellow hoodie on with,
the guy's on his cell phone.
and boom, just knocks his ass right in the damn.
What's the motivation there?
I don't know.
32-year-old victim was not hit by a train but did sustain injuries. That's ridiculous. Cummins City subway system is up more than 41%,
Yeah, I don't understand.
according to the New York Police Department. Then the mayor was kind of like, yeah, we got 3.5 million people on the subway every single day, and to have like 6 events happen with 3.5 million
Right.
people, that brings the percentage down so much it's almost nothing.
And I don't think the mayor sounds anything like that.
That's my Tracy. What's his Morgan? That's my Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, but check this. Then apparently he said something about if they would be more diligent and spend less time on their phones.
Yeah, basically keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, like basically, take care of yourself.
Yes.
Whatever.
No, I'm paying you to take care of that. That's why I pay taxes for the police department.
Well, look, when I was down in New York, I was on the subway. I was extremely vigilant. My ass didn't go near that edge, and because there was hoodlums everywhere,
Right.
and
Not me.
I was unable to bring a gun, so I was definitely on edge down there.
Right.
And hell, screw that. There's a lot of people you don't know. And then once you get in the goddamn subway itself, I sent you all those pictures of all the sexually explicit stuff they have all on the trans, and they got the tongues, and
I don't
I didn't
think you
see
said
any of
those.
that.
yeah, you guys just forgot what they were. But there was some advertisements on there about the trans community, and
Oh, I didn't see
there
any
was just a
Oh,
bunch of
God.
crazy stuff. There's just look, if I were to bring my kid on that subway, I felt that the advertisements on the subway wall would have been inappropriate
Yeah,
for a
would have been
child to look
offensive.
at. And it's just that kind of stuff. I'm like, come on, man, really? Have
Well,
some
I took
couth.
I was in D.C. and I went to the Titans and Redskins game, and I was in the subway with there and back. I stood there right on the edge, and I looked at everyone. I said, "Bring it,
Did you have your tomahawk out?
bring it, baby."
Your hatchet?
Try to push me. No, they don't do that. They don't do that at the Redskins game. Well, maybe they did before then they became the
I don't
Commanders.
know.
What do they do
No,
now?
they just shoot guns. They shout out commands.
No, they do these.
Command prompt.
They do the stupid Euro thing.
Command prompt.
What's the stupid Euro that they do at soccer games? No, that's the same thing as the other. Okay, just stop.
Like the Vuvuzelas.
Just stop. No, it's that stupid European soccer. Okay. Yeah, this is going nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't lead you
No,
guys
I mean,
there.
like the Irish folks, they go ole 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 ole.
Yeah, that's not what I'm thinking.
I don't fucking know. European. Let's see if we got a European football chance.
We're not gonna. I don't want to hear it anyway. I'm like, why are they doing this at NFL games? I mean, come on.
Well, it's because they can't do anything else. They're slowly but surely stripping of us of all of our fun.
Yeah, because we can't do the karate chop.
Well,
It was the tomahawk chop.
The
You know,
tomahawk
It's
chop.
The Chiefs
yeah.
still do it, and the Chiefs aren't going to give it up either.
good for them.
And imagine that. One's a blue city, one's a red city. I'm just like, come on.
I know.
It can't be that. You know what I mean? Wherever there's blue, wherever there's red. I mean, just like, it just makes me nauseous. Oh, we're trying to find sports songs.
Is East
Oh, God.
Germany East?
This is kind of scary looking. Ooh, they're walking. This is creepy.
It's like high Hitler stuff.
I know. Wow, I don't like that one at all.
This is a river. Tell me how.
I tell you what, they love their soccer. They're psycho, man. All of them.
Yeah, there's some soccer games that got out of hand when
Oh, there are people that are
someone
trampled.
calls a bad shot, or I mean, the crowd will literally become unseated and get down on that field and wreak havoc.
Oh, well,
Is
they're
that
all.
better?
Well, first off, they're all. For one thing, they're all shit-faced, right? And so when there's some sort of trouble, and there's a stampede, people get crushed up against fences. All sorts of crazy shit happens at soccer games. Oh God, what's this one? All right, we're basically going through different European.
No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care. We are Millwall.
No one likes us. No one likes us. This is fascinating.
Well, the stadium's very empty except for that one spot right there.
Sure is.
But the acoustics are fantastic.
They
in this.
are. They're very loud. Good for them. Oh God, somebody's got tear gas. What is that?
What, it looks like a.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, this is. I like the I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. They do that in the high school games here. It's kind of fun.
Defense.
And all the kids are jumping around like salmon.
Like soccer hooligans.
Speaking of hooligans, Brittany
Hooligans.
Griner was denied. The Russian court
Denied.
rejects appeal over the jail term.
Yeah,
is she
9
gonna-
years.
So there are like even Democrats that are getting like furious with Biden that he hasn't solved this problem yet.
In a
That he
court
hasn't
near-
freed Griner.
Well, I think it's because it's difficult because he tried to let some folks go that are jailed for pot here. If he did that,
Listen-
why? What about all those folks who got busted for the same thing here in the States?
Yeah, that's bullshit. But
Right?
here
That's
is
the
what she
question.
says.
That's
Why
a
is
great
she the
point.
exception?
That's a great point.
Brittany Griner herself, she was like she apologized by her honest mistake.
Honest mistake.
It was she apologizing for her honest mistake in the appeal hearing. The video saying it's been very, very stressful. Griner 32 convicted in August, smuggling cannabis oil. But you know
She'll
what?
be in her 40s when she gets out.
Well, I mean,
I'm just thinking to myself, you're gonna go to a foreign country, and you're gonna take pot oil with you.
Hashish.
I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of sympathy. I guess they get so emboldened,
Entitled.
emboldened.
Nothing will happen to me. Oh, I'm in Russia. I don't really mean much over here.
Or even worse than that, I'm Brittany Griner.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I'm Brittany Griner. They love me here. I mean, Russia can't wait to have me here because I'm a celebrity, and I mean, come on.
Well,
I mean, I'm sorry. I don't. You know.
it's not just there. You know, it's anywhere. Anywhere
Yeah.
these athletes are fucking up like that. I mean, they need to be held accountable. You know,
I don't.
I mean,
disagree.
it sucks, but look, here's the deal: if she were in she was like in some sort of gulag where her life is like she's going to be dead or something. Yeah, I wouldn't want that for her. I want her to do the time for doing the crime.
Well, I tell you what. I mean, had it been Singapore. I mean, I don't know if Singapore still does that, but when I lived in Indonesia, there were 2 British girls that got caught with pot, and they got hung.
Really?
They were hung.
Like publicly?
Damn.
Yeah.
On the town square?
Yeah, I don't remember where, but I mean, yeah, they were hung. They were killed. It was a death penalty if you got caught with drugs.
That's crazy.
And
That's hardcore.
I mean, this is back in the mid '80s.
You know,
so,
being foreign, I mean, I could imagine some canes. We'll cane them 5 times.
yeah, they caned them too. I mean, they caned people too. It was crazy.
They caned the girls and then hung them?
Well, I don't know. Probably.
God damn.
Probably caned them while they were hanging.
While they're hanging, it's like piñatas.
Yeah, they're like,
Oh my God.
ow,
That's so fucked up.
It is. That's why I told Steven, if when Brandon ever goes out of town or out of the country, I'm like, you need to recognize where you're at.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not the same.
Right. And apparently they're so self-absorbed. They're so something that they just, whatever. They don't care.
I'm an American.
They think they're immune.
No.
They're exempt. Maybe that's the word. They're exempt from any sort of just kind of thinking about.
Well, they're in the
rules are.
Frisco bubble, and they just their
Well,
entire
I'm thinking about
lives,
Brittany Griner, but yes, in general.
I mean, just their whole lives have
Even
been
worse.
passed off, and no, it's all right. We'll let them go. It's okay. It's like our kids. They get away with bloody murder.
Yeah.
I guess that's just generation after generation after generation. It gets worse and worse. I know I got away with a lot of shit. I never in a second thought my kids would be getting away with more shit.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Times are different. I moved out of the house and I was 18, never looked back. I'm not saying that because they're not moving out now at that young age, that's a good thing or bad thing. I just think it's more of a sign of the times with the COVID, with the economics the way they are. I don't
think it's COVID.
Crazy.
I don't think it's COVID. That's relatively over the last 2 years.
Yeah, but COVID put my daughter essentially here.
It created.
I think it may have.
It created something.
Added some more, but I think already. I think this generation was already staying at home longer. But it may have caused some more to come home that wouldn't naturally have. But I think the kids these days are just taking longer to get out. Whether that's they can't find a job or they just don't have the motivation or whatever the theory is.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, I did something I've been waiting to do forever. Damn, I got a fucking headache all of a sudden. We need to talk about the bourbon. No, I didn't
slam your bourbon.
No. We need to talk about the bourbon. But before we do that, everyone knows that we were talking about sleep apnea stuff and how Sean needs to get it. Blah blah blah. I took the first step, so I took the second step. I don't know which step it is now, but I ordered the piece. I couldn't do it at the hotel while I was out of town because they were like, there's a lot of Bluetooth interface in hotels, so you didn't want to mess up with that. But what it is that you sleep with this thing on your finger, and it tethers to a watch, little wire. It tethers to a little. It's a watch-looking device, but it's not a watch. It doesn't tell time or anything like that. And it takes a battery, and it blinks. And then there's another tether that goes, and you put something over your trachea would be, essentially, and you stick it there, and so it records me gurgling, I guess, and all those weird noises. So I did it last night, and it's a one-time use. So I think I started around 10 o'clock, plugged it in.
And you listened to yourself later?
No. It did, at this point, it didn't let me listen to anything. It hasn't come up with a report. What I did is I hit. I started going to bed around, I guess, 10:30 ish. I was tired, trip, whatever, blah. I just started laying down and relaxing, and I was up several times in the middle of the night because our kids have this habit of wanting to stay up all fucking night long and go to bed at fucking 7 a.m. It's
Right.
just the
that's not-
craziest fucking thing I've ever heard of.
Not
but
healthy. Yeah.
no, it's not. But whatever. That's what they're doing. So whenever they would make a noise, I would get up for a second and I would recognize that they're up, but then I would go back to bed. I'd take some deep breaths and it's going to record that. So anyways, when I got up this morning, I hit end and it took like couple minutes. It uploaded a bunch of stuff and it says, hey, we've your sleep study was successful and we got lots of data and it's be sent to the doctors for review.
Yeah.
So this is by LOFTA, LOFTA.
And they said, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Then 20 seconds later, an ambulance pulled up to the front.
They were like, dude, I didn't even know how you were alive.
Yeah, they're like, we've heard noises we've never heard.
Ready to shock you back. Clear.
A helicopter's landing in the front street.
Yeah.
This is not Sean. This is Zor.
Well, hopefully,
that's good,
hopefully it was
good.
a good night of sleep apnea for you,
Yeah,
Well,
like
and it wasn't
a lousy night. Yes.
It was a typical night because I was tired.
Right.
When I get up in the morning, and I'm always tired. So I'm happy that the test is over. I can't wait for the results to come in. I don't care what the expense is going to be.
I'm glad you took that step.
I'm gonna.
It's a big
watch
deal.
her come up and go, you have nothing wrong.
Yeah, they're gonna go. We
Because
heard.
you slept like a baby.
Yeah,
that
we
night
heard
'cause
the
you
most-
wasn't tired.
We've never recorded such sound sleep of the human in
no,
any study we've ever done.
No, I asked.
And then we'll be like, Jeff and I disagree.
Yeah,
We've heard it.
I asked the kids.
We were horrified.
They said last night I was loud as fuck. So
Well, then they.
Dad, that's why we can't sleep because you're doing that.
Yeah. We stay up till
We have to
7
wait.
a.m.
That's why you get up and then we go to bed.
Yes.
well,
We have to stay up till 7 a.m. because of you.
It's gonna change my life.
It is.
I mean,
you get
so
enough.
here's what's going to happen, and frankly, it's probably going to change my kid's life. So, the downstairs is my domain,
Right.
because that's where I sleep.
Right.
So now that this snoring issue is going to go away with the sleep apnea machine, I'm going to be able to sleep in my own bed.
Right.
So there's that. But then now nobody's going to be monitoring downstairs. There's that. So when I say
But
monitoring,
you don't, I mean, your kids are all grown. You don't want to be monitoring that
yeah,
anyway.
But well, look, there's a lot of stuff going in and out, in and out, and in and out, and it's more than once I've found out the door was fucking wide open.
Oh God.
They're not all there sometimes, and that includes our producer. I mean, he doesn't mean to do it. I'm not bickering,
Maybe
but it was,
maybe the wind just blows it open.
well,
Maybe it's
Or
a
maybe your
neighborhood-
crazy ass dog
Yeah.
Bronco opens it and takes a
Or your
walk and comes
neighborhood,
back.
the neighborhood dog.
whatever. That's the only.
Oh
fear.
yeah, that's right. He had a dog that knew how to
Open his door.
open the door and grab
Yeah,
a
well,
beer
that's-
and turn on the TV and sit on the couch.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an incredible dog.
Whose dog was that?
You
It was your neighbor's.
told a story
Oh,
about.
he wasn't able to get a beer, but he definitely opened the door. It was freaking hilarious, like Kramer from Seinfeld. He would open up the door, and be like, "Hey, what's going on, guys?" Yeah, wagging his tail everywhere, and the dogs would all be
That's-
smelling each other's butt. Hey, I'm just here for a little bit here. I'm gonna go outside real quick. Go outside, take a few peas,
That's
mark
nuts.
the area, come back inside. Hey, I'm gonna climb on your couch for a little bit. Get off the couch. Get off the couch. And he's like, "Oh, I'll get off the couch now."
I'm trying to think if I've ever come home to another dog just kind of randomly being there. Yeah, that would be a freaky experience. But
Well, I'm excited
And-
about it. It's gonna be.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna
it's
get
gonna be
some
a good
better
move.
sleep.
Did they tell you the turnaround time? A week, 2 weeks?
No, they didn't. They didn't. So we'll just see. Hopefully it'll
be
be
patient.
soon.
Yeah, hopefully,
And
hopefully another
you know,
week.
hey, look, it's. I'm taking steps. This thing's going to be happening. I've got my insurance that's kicking in
When's your sign up period?
now.
Yeah. Have you done it?
No. I've got to. It ends in it ends like on the 6th of November.
Yeah, mine's not open yet.
Yeah. So I've got.
you're
I've-
what? Oh, you're open enrollment?
Yeah.
Mine is open. As a matter of fact, I think it'll still be open by the time I get back from my hunting trip. So
Yeah.
I think I may
So
be
I need
okay.
to. I'll go in there and roll. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. I don't know what I'm going to be checking.
Well, you need to. Okay, so Does your wife have insurance that covers the
Yeah.
family?
Yeah.
So it's just you.
Yeah. Well, I need to find out.
Well, you need to compare.
Yeah, I need to find out.
Find out which one has better coverage, which one has cheaper premiums, which one, all that kind of stuff. You need to compare the two plans that you have and she has and make a decision which one would be the smartest one to use for your family. There you go. All right, well, let's talk about the bourbon. It's actually
what is the bourbon?
It actually has this is the strongest bottle that's ever been made, right?
Oh yeah, it's quite beefy. This is not a wild turkey.
When you talking about bottle, you're talking about the actual bottle.
Actual bottle.
glass.
Yeah, it's very beefy because it fell out of the car once Paul stacked it in the wrong position.
No. I was not there.
Well, you had got out of the car, but
No, I wasn't there when this happened. This is a different experience that you guys. This is
are
called.
You sure?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, this is when we went down to pick up Steven, and then
Yes, thank you.
you opened the back door to get your stuff.
Unbelievable.
And you watched it. It took like 30 seconds for it to roll.
And
just
he was
watched
like-
it fell out.
No.
You just stood
that's
there.
not what
Hold on,
happened
you
at
just
all.
stood there
I
and watched
recall.
it happen.
No.
Yes, he was like,
no.
"Oh, it's
It
rolling."
didn't even. We
Oh,
And
were
the
it's
whole
coming.
time you're like, Sean,
Yeah.
Sean, do something, Sean, for the love of God, man.
I'm diving over the seat.
Yeah. You're just gonna stand there? Okay, I'll try to save it.
Your belly gets stuck between the
did.
ceiling
It was
and
like-
the chair.
So my understanding, that was you getting stuck. My
Yes.
God, help me! I'm lodged.
All right. So I recall it now. I opened up the side door, got out, and it was like weirdly under the seat,
No,
like resting on my heels, and I had no idea. So whatever.
I'm gonna fast forward. You let it roll out of the car and it hit the ground. Did not break.
Did not
yeah,
break.
it did not break.
It chipped.
It fucking big chunk of glass came out of it.
Yeah. How does a bottle chip
Oh.
and not break?
It's a beefy bottle.
I don't even care. We can talk about the bourbon. It's actually not bad, but the bottle's more impressive than the bourbon.
Well, the mash
All right.
bill. Well, first of all, it's
What is
white,
it?
White corn.
Well, it's Castle and Key.
What is
Castle
it?
and Key.
Castle and Key.
Castle and Key.
What batch is this, Mr. Producer?
Yeah. Let's see what's
It
on
should
the
say on
bottle
there.
here. It's it's not a cheap one, is it? What is it? Do you remember?
That was about $50.
Oh, $50. Okay. It's batch number 5.
Yeah.
Batch number 5. Okay, excellent. The mash bill, 73.
Batch number 5.
There you go. 73% white corn, 10% rye, 17% malted barley. And what do we think? All right, the nose. The nose was like, there was absolutely no ethanol-y smell at all, but we were all a little confused by it. It was very different.
Yeah, I didn't get much nose at all.
Very different. Well, I thought.
still don't.
Really? Okay.
It really it's got a lot of similarities to the TX whiskey. You know,
Okay.
minus the pecans and the walnut nutty kind of flavor to it, but it's extremely sweet.
Minus everything that makes it a dessert.
Well,
Because we
it's
said it was
sweet.
dessert. This is
I
sweet.
compared it to an oatmeal raisin cherry cookie.
I definitely smelled
Oatmeal
and
raisin and cherries.
Yeah, I added cherries just a little while ago.
yeah, I definitely smelled the oatmeal when I was doing the nose, but it's got a nice. I'm gonna put this. I mean, how many times have I said something's a 5.5 or a 6 or a 6.5? I'm gonna put this at a 7.
I think so. I think it's in the
Yeah.
upper tier or
Yeah.
upper mid.
Yeah,
Right.
7 or 7.5. I mean,
Yeah.
this is solid.
Yeah.
Castle
I enjoyed
and
it.
Key Distillery.
I heard the first batch. This was a very anticipated. This is a brand new distillery.
Okay, and it's
And-
where? Give me. Is there a little more information about the distillery itself, Mr. Producer? Castle and Key. Is this in Indiana? Is this
It's up in
Kentucky?
it's up in Kentucky, I believe.
It is Kentucky. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe. Let's see. Small batch. This is a small batch bourbon. Okay. And let's see. Our Story. That's what I would go with. Our Story. All right. Kentucky. There we go. It is. All right. And I'm gonna,
E.H. Taylor.
they've been around a long time. Prohibition forced the closing of the distillery in 1920.
Well, no, this is a new venture. I thought.
It doesn't look like it. Abandoned distillery in 2012. He talked about he couldn't stop thinking about the legacy and potential. He visited the property, and it looks like he took it over and bought it. He built a brand at the same distillery. All right, so maybe they're just kind of rejuvenating.
I think they're just rejuvenating an old distillery.
An old distillery.
This is
yeah.
a new bourbon.
Okay. All right.
But it's being done in an old distillery.
Anyway, I'm very impressed with the labeling. It's very unique. Very impressed with the bottle. Very unique. Solid bourbon.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think we picked a winner on this one.
Yeah.
And did we know how long it's been aged? It's 100 proof. We didn't say that. 4 years.
I don't know if it's 4 years. Is that what you said?
Looks like it is 4 years. Yes, sir. Okay, solid. I tell you what, this is better than some of the ones that have been aged longer than that. So very nice. Nicely done, Castle and Key. And this segment is sponsored by Castle and Key. I'm kidding.
There you go.
We don't have any sponsors yet. We would love to have some and love to try your free bourbon, free samples of bourbon if you want to be on our podcast.
Well, even discounted.
Discounted,
yeah,
sure.
God bless.
Yeah.
And we'll even buy it. You sell it to us direct. Throw in a few couple
Well,
Glencairn.
that's what we're doing now. We're buying them every week.
Yeah.
okay.
So they're on October 24th.
Yesterday.
Their REO Speedwagon, the American rock band, there was a death.
Oh, no.
Do you know who the bassist is?
No.
Bill Clark.
It was Greg Philbin.
It's close.
Yeah.
What was Regis's brother?
Yeah.
It's not.
Originally with the REO Speedwagon, he died. So,
Just old age or?
it doesn't say.
That's too bad.
It doesn't really say cultivated following the 70s commercial group same for. Yeah, it doesn't really say why. It must have been from old age.
Well, the REO Speedwagon is about to play in Choctaw in December.
You know what? I'm glad you brought this up because do you recall when we saw REO Speedwagon, I was like, Kevin Cronin sounded horrible. And I was thinking, okay, he did. No, we all agreed. He sounded absolutely horrible. And we had this conversation about how all these other bands are like hiring
Was that the first time we
younger
went?
guys to like help carry the
Help
voice.
beef them up and everything.
But he didn't have anybody. And I was like, maybe he's holding out thinking. Anyway, Barry told me he saw him and said, It must have been a bad. Actually, he was there. I think he was there for when it was really bad. And he saw him again and said he was unbelievable. He killed it.
Really?
So we were kind of, surmising that, he just had a, like a cough or something or cold or was getting over something. Anyway, so that's encouraging. So, I mean, not that would have been a reason for me never to see REO Speedwagon again, but
Yeah, Saturday,
if they're
December 10.
I
Yeah.
say we do it.
Let's go.
Well, who they usually don't play by themselves. Who are they?
Let's
Maybe
see
they're playing a
here.
longer set. Choctaw usually they don't do two.
Yeah, it's usually just the one band.
It
up there,
is.
isn't it?
Yeah, Foreigner was that way.
Well,
I know
38
Julie would
Special
like
was
to
that
go.
way.
Would Shelley like to go to that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Julie would like to go to that one.
Yep, let's do it. Let's get tickets for sure. We haven't been to a concert in a while, and this time we're going to do the full body cast of Liquid.
Penis?
Oh, to smuggle in.
Well,
Oh.
well, the arm sling wasn't enough. We said we needed a.
Oh, I sent you that video as well. That lady
Oh, they had all these.
had like a gallon
Oh,
under
pregnant.
her shirt. Yeah, she acted like she was pregnant.
Yeah. Well, one of us could be a transgender pregnant.
I tell you what, we better start gobbling up tickets now because they're in the hundreds.
They're already going quick.
Yeah, they're.
They were $50 when I looked.
Well,
Are you
they're
serious?
they're
When I
not
mentioned it to you a
$50.
couple months ago. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Right now, that's what it says. 50. Hold on. It says.
We went section 2.
Oh boy! All right. So the lowest price currently is $107.
That's not. It's not. That's not an ender.
For REO Speedwagon. $50 was a I would have done that. for
Close to
REO
an ender.
Speedwagon.
Well, I mean, are those like really good tickets, or are they just going up and up and up and up?
Well, it says row V.
Yeah,
That section 2 is where you want to be.
it is.
Not on the floor. I don't want to be on the floor again.
No, you want to be in the upper balcony,
Yeah, that first little angled section. Those are great
or
tickets.
maybe within the first 5 rows of the upper deck. Wouldn't be bad either.
Maybe.
I mean, there's really not a
Yeah.
bad seat in that place. It's a great venue.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, we kind of screwed the pooch. I mean, really should have.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up early.
I did.
I mean,
Yeah, so
like
in,
now,
in the
early.
area that we want them, right? Oh my God. Okay, where we sat last time, where I had Shrek sitting in front of me, those seats are $400 a pop.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Who did we see there?
Loverboy.
Yeah, Lover.
Yes, we
Yeah.
waited 2 years for that concert. It was worth it too.
I thought they did good. I
I
thought the
thought it was
guitarist
a
sucked.
great concert.
I think the guitarist sucked.
Yeah,
I think
so
he was
1,
half-assing
2,
it.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
6
well-
rows back, we've got 179 apiece.
No.
yeah, we're gonna have to
I'm
wait.
out.
We'll have to wait for them to get a new bassist.
They may cancel. I mean, that's a month out,
I don't.
essentially.
I don't think that bassist was active.
Yeah, he might have been a founder
Oh,
that
okay.
is no
Yeah.
longer with the band.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, back to the. I'm glad we talked about that, and it's kind of disappointing. Yeah, I don't know. Looking at the tickets, I mean, like I said, the $107 ones. When you're looking at them, they're in the nosebleeds. So
They're
to speak.
obstructed.
Well, I mean, they've got large patches that are available. $140 a piece.
So let me tell you about the Commanders Titans game we went to. So my sister bought the tickets, right? And
Your view looked outstanding.
it was unbelievable. I was shocked. I literally
I don't remember getting pictures.
so no, I sent you a
It's like
picture.
you were underground or something.
It absolutely was. So let me tell you how this was. There's an upper deck, there's a mid layer, and we were in the mid layer. And the mid layer is literally extends underneath the upper deck to where if you're sitting in the back of that, you actually can only see half the field.
Really?
Like you can see the bottom half of the field because the upper deck blocks your view. So when you look, like those seats are completely empty all the way around the stadium underneath that upper deck. So, and I'm talking maybe 15 rows of seats are
Just
completely empty. So I ended up getting up.
Is that a new stadium?
No.
It's old.
Yeah, no. And it is old. Anyway, so I ended up getting up and pacing because all those rows were all empty. And I would crouch down and watch the game to where I could see the whole field. I would crouch down, and so it made it. Funny enough, it made it an interesting football watching experience because it was almost like, not in my living room or anything, but I had the freedom to move around and
Right.
and do stuff. Anyway, but hell no. Hell no.
She probably paid a pretty penny for those, too.
And she was not happy, and she was apologizing to me, and I was like, Jen, don't worry about it. We're watching the game. It was a great game. Do you know how it ended?
No.
So we were up, and once again, the Titans offense couldn't stay on the field in the fourth, right? And so it's always up to the defense to win the game. Wentz drives the Redskins all the way down the field. There's like 2 seconds left in the game. It's fourth quarter, fourth down. They're on like the 3-yard line. To score, they win. And they throw a pick on the goal line. And yeah, we basically run it out and end the game.
Right.
Anyway, so it was crazy, and all the Redskins fans were pissed. The Commanders fans were totally pissed off.
You're in your Titan jersey?
Oh, and there were a ton of Titans fans.
Really?
Oh, more than I've seen on any road game. So Titans fans are fired up right now. I mean, and Bengals fans should be too. Wow.
Yeah, they look good.
Wow,
this
you
last
guys
game.
look. I think it's going to be, to be honest, I think it's going to be another Bengals Titans AFC Championship game.
You don't think the Bills and Chiefs?
I don't
Bills
know.
struggled the last game. They played. Who did they play? They've looked human. Put it that way.
Yeah, mortal. I even think the Chiefs look mortal.
Yeah.
But the teams that are getting stronger are the Titans and the Bengals. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we play the Chiefs here in a couple weeks, and I'll be at that game at Arrowhead. So
you're going to like 10 games this year.
Huh?
You're going to like 10 games this year.
No. I'm going to 2.
8.
2.
No, you went down in Houston.
Well, that wasn't the Titans.
Washington. Oh, that was the Titans?
No, that was the Chargers and the Texans. The reason why we had to do that is because Brody has never been to a game.
Gotcha.
And we were going to go to the Texans game this coming weekend, but I'm going elk hunting. So I was like, we got to pick another game. And, of course, it couldn't be the Titans. And so we just decided on the Texans and the Chargers because that's really what the point was, to be with his grandfather. Right, and see a game. Anyway, so it worked out great. It was actually exciting game, and it was a fun experience. So it worked out really well. But anyway, So,
I'll tell you one thing that dudes like us don't get to experience a whole lot.
what's that?
The amount of days Paul gets to take off.
I know.
I only get 48 days a year.
Only.
I'm kidding. I get 20. Like everybody else, I get 20-something days. What do you
I
get?
don't know.
You get 20-something days?
I get 6 weeks.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You get more than I do then. What are you bitching about?
I've been on my job for 15 years. You've been at your job for 15 days.
No, like 6 months.
Yeah,
But I'm really important. Sort of.
it's true.
No.
I don't even know how much
No,
time I have.
It totally is not. I am not important. You have no idea how much vacation you have?
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, I could look it up, but I don't. It's not.
You need to take it.
What is happening with you? You don't know what your benefits are. You don't know how much vacation you have.
Well, I mean, I got to find out about my benefits because it just popped up on the radar.
Okay, I get it.
I'll find out about that. As far as my days off, yeah,
Come on.
I think I tallied it up. It might be 4 weeks.
Okay.
You know,
You
it's
run out of
definitely
time.
6. Pardon?
You run out of time. You only have
Do you
4 weeks left
lose
of the
it?
year.
Do you use it or
No,
lose
it
it?
carries over.
How much
Really?
of
A
it?
lot of companies don't do that anymore.
Well, I mean, look, it's difficult. Well, first of all, when you have 4 weeks, it's not going to carry over. You know, and really, you know, because I have a tendency to take off like a Friday a lot, and so what it adds up.
Right.
You know, like during the Christmas time, I can't take off like in advance because everyone in our office wants off, and usually I'm low man on the totem pole, so I don't get to take it off. However, I could take the day off and just
Go to the state.
retroactivate it. You know, like, you know, if something happens, I need to make sure I'm available, so to speak. But I can also take it off. Like if I want to take off tomorrow, for example, I just don't take it off, but I just take it off. And then the next day, I like, oh yeah, I'll just take that day off.
Makes total sense to me.
Hold on. So I mean,
I know what you're saying.
I just
know what you're saying.
retroly take it off. I mean, if I were to ask for it, it could be denied. You know what I mean?
Yes.
No, we need you available. So I was available if someone needed to call me.
Yeah, I got you.
I was there. But if I decide to take it off, then it's not a big deal. It's not.
Yeah, I don't have to ask. I haven't had to ask off a day off in years. I just do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was really surprised. I'm on this 10-week project, and my vacation fell on the second to last week where we're doing the final readout and stuff. And I told them in the very beginning, I'm like, I have an annual trip I got to go on. They're like, oh, okay, yeah. And then now they're kind of like, okay.
And they're going,
Yeah, we
Let me
got it.
write
Well,
this
no, I
down.
mean, not once did they say, sorry, you're going to have to. I mean, they didn't say anything like that, but they were like, yeah, we really need to make sure that, you know, the other guy that's working with you has everything he needs because you're not going to be here. You know,
Well,
it's
but
like,
you still have another week to pull this shit together when you get back, right?
why don't you zoom in while you're up there?
No, yeah. No, that's what I was thinking too.
You have 2 generators
Well,
there.
You're like Les Nessman on the WKRP in Cincinnati. Hey guys, I'm filming up on top of
Well,
the
just
Colorado
bring it-
Mountain right now.
Well,
bring
and
a
that's
nice shirt.
That's the good thing. The only place I get coverage is at the top of the mountain. So yeah, it'll be 5 degrees, and I'll be, you know, on my phone going, yes, guys, yes, that's exactly right. Get the
You'd be
requirements.
living in the lap of
and,
luxury.
We need to do a lot
Jerry
of
got a brand
documentation.
new trailer.
Then an elk goes by. You're like, hold on.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. I just bagged me a elk.
Or like that gun that fucking Jeff sent today, man.
What the hell was that?
That's an airplane. That's an airplane smacker, man.
How many
or a
bullets do you
missile
think that
smacker.
shot out?
Okay, what was the background of that?
I don't know. I just came across it. I was like, wow, that's intense.
So basically, if you've seen Predator, he's
There's like
got
4
that.
of them.
Yeah, he's got that handheld
Gatling
That's
gun.
a
rotary
chain gun, but
Gatling gun thing.
Those are designed to take out like missiles
Yeah.
or anything coming at you.
Yeah, they
That
are.
thing was impressive.
I mean, I want to say
Did you see the
uh,
shells coming out of it?
I know.
100 bullets a second.
Well, the Gatling gun does 6,000 rounds a minute.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh
Do that
my
math.
God, that's insane.
Wow. That's 6.
Imagine being-
That's 100 a second.
Imagine being a terrified human on the
Yeah.
other side of that, just
right?
hunkered
It would
down,
it would
going.
destroy you.
It would completely
He'd
mince
be
you up.
vaporized.
It'd be vapor. Yeah, if you shot that at the
Well,
elk.
but that's. You remember that C-130? They designed a C-130,
Oh,
Gun
with the
ship.
guns on the side of it. Yeah.
and it literally they described that it will put a bullet in every square inch.
Yep.
A bullet in every square inch of a very large area.
Yeah. So what it does is that C-130 will do a circle
Right.
It'll do a circle, it'll lean way over, and all of a sudden it'll just
Unbelievable.
instantly.
Yeah.
It's
and
amazing.
is it
Destruction.
And is it computer controlled? I think it probably would be.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
There's
I mean,
a
it's
guy-
not like there's a bunch
there's
of
a guy on
guys.
the other side going like,
Yeah, going,
Hold it.
little more tilt.
right.
No, I think it's all computer controlled. I mean, and they said, like, a bullet
Put
every inch.
C-130 shooting from the side.
I mean,
Because there's a million C-130s, the Hercules.
That
but there's
thing mu-
only one when it shoots from the side. It's amazing.
that thing was like an awesome in like Afghanistan, like where there's wide open space.
Oh, yeah.
there
and
you
it
go.
just-
There's somewhat of a picture there. I like the
AC-130 gunship.
That's it. The AC-130 gunship is exactly what we're talking about.
yeah.
But we're looking at what might be a very cool video here. Let's see. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so
All
it's
right, they're showing.
the gunship in action, firing all its cannons, exercise.
Ooh, look how big that is.
Oh, those
Good
are big
Lord.
shells. Are you
Uh,
kidding me? That's not.
That's
Wow.
not the Gatling gun. That's
So
that
they're
thing.
shooting. Oh, there's the Gatling gun. That's
Look at that thing.
Oh my God! That's basically what you sent in your video.
But there were 4 of them.
yeah. So when that thing rolls over, it just like what it's doing. The airplane pivots,
Tilts.
and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden it.
What do
just,
they call that? It. There's a word. It doesn't tilt. It.
Tilts.
No, never mind. Well, hold on. They're not shooting anything. They're just showing the weapons. This is not exciting at all. I want to see it like going. There we go. Oh, well, it didn't do
No,
it.
it did like only it did 1,000.
In like 2 seconds.
an aileron.
God, that's impressive. Oh, those are big caliber. Those are basically anti
It's a
tank
roll, pitch, or yaw. Which one was it?
roll pitch. Oh, both of them.
Or y'all.
I like. What is it? Y'all? What'd you say?
Y-A-W.
YAW yaw.
Y'all.
Y'all. Y'all to the left. Y'all to the left, y'all.
Y'all to the right. No.
Y'all.
Hey, anyway, so it was
Anyway, very
it's
impressive
quite
weapons on
remarkable.
this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have different style ones too.
Oh my God, those things are tank.
That
Those
thing,
are tank shells.
Yeah.
you plug in an address for that thing, and
And
you-
kaboom.
yeah, you're gonna get more than an Uber Eats.
Yeah, that one I sent you
Wow.
today was quite impressive.
Yeah, a lot of weapons out there are quite impressive. I mean, dudes like us, yeah, we go out hunting. Like Paul's going hunting with and he's gonna come back with plenty of fantastic stories. But you know, the mechanics of the military and just the shit that we know, the shit that we don't know, the stuff that they go out there every single day that's on the maps, it's available for us to see. But no one gives a fuck anymore. I mean, we're all playing video
Well,
games.
You know who does care? The Russians getting their ass kicked in Ukraine.
Yeah,
Because
wow.
we are giving them Western weapons. And it's not just American weapons. I mean,
Wow.
French. I mean, all these German. I mean, all these countries are
Well,
giving
it's-
them
They're,
the
they're talking
be-
today
the
about
best
a,
of
a
their
dirty
weapons.
bomb. You know,
Well-
where did that verbiage come from?
Okay, well, no. What Russia's claiming is that Ukraine is going to use or threatening to use a dirty bomb, and so
And blame the Russians?
no.
They need to keep that
No.
language.
This is what they're saying. I know. This is what they're saying. The Russians are claiming that Ukraine, they have intelligence that Ukraine is going to use a dirty bomb on their own territory, which makes no sense, and so that gives them the right to do something horrible. Like you see what I'm saying?
Right.
They haven't said that they're going to do anything horrible, but
Is
they're
that kinda
basically
like, is
they're
that kind of
setting
like the United States smacking into our own 9/11 building so that we can invade Iraq?
right, something like that.
Yeah,
There is that conspiracy out there.
I know it's so ridiculous.
Loose Change. It's the name of
Loose-
a movie.
Loose change?
Loose Change. It's the conspiracy movie put out there that details that exactly.
And it's totally stupid because
have you seen it?
no,
It's
but
not.
I can tell you it's stupid
There's a lot
because
of dot connecting.
well, but here's why: because they go into Iraq and were desperately looking for evidence that they had weapons of mass destruction, and they didn't. So if they planned that whole thing because
Yeah,
they
but
wanted to go
look,
into Iraq, they
look,
probably
look.
would have
I'm
done
gonna
a little
stop.
bit more.
I'm not a proponent. I don't support that movie, Loose Chains. I'm not saying that happened, but what I am going to say is that their investigation into the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq was bullshit and jaded. They've got UN folk out there. It's just kind of like you get all these little blue hat motherfuckers, and they bring them in a little area.
Oh, you're saying they could have found something and we wouldn't have known about it? Or
look, you think they're going to seriously allow them to go somewhere and look? Yeah, they were able to look at anywhere they want. It's like, oh, that's not the problem.
No. I'm talking about after Saddam was gone, after we controlled the country.
But
they were going around looking for those weapons of mass destruction and found nothing.
Look, dude, you could fit weapons of mass destruction in a fucking cubicle.
Well,
they
were desperately looking for them because they wanted to justify the invasion, and they never
barely found
them.
Saddam Hussein living in a fucking hole.
Spider hole.
I mean, come on.
Crazy how they found him.
Eating sausages, whacking off to VHS tapes, and Mars bars.
That was Bin Laden.
No, he was eating sausages.
They found him with a stash of porn.
Sausages.
Yeah, the summer sausage and Mars bars. Big sell though.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I was hiding for my life, that's exactly what I would have.
Oh man,
I'm on summer sausage, Mars bars. I'd have Butterfinger actually.
Not a huge summer sausage fan.
Are you kidding me?
No, when you have it with
how can you not be a summer
cheddar
sausage
cheese
fan?
and Ritz crackers?
I could eat it, but I couldn't imagine just like gnawing on it.
Oh no, not like a
no.
No, that's a good point.
Look, here's the
excellent
thing.
point.
With
Texture.
living in Germany and being exposed to
grown men
breakfasts.
No, I like
grown men.
And sausage.
He's such a fucker. No. So when we lived in Germany, it was different then than it is now. Back then there was a lot. I mean, there's still a lot of German culture out there, but it's tremendous. I mean, it's just back then while we lived on base, we were just exposed to it a little bit differently. We would have traditional breakfasts / lunch with brochen, which is a bread that's really soft on the inside, but it's got a hard, it cuts your mouth on the top of it. But brochen is badass, and the cheeses and the meats and the olives and the stone fruit.
It's a charcuterie.
Yeah, you and your stone fruit.
I waited for that.
You don't even know what a stone fruit is.
It's a pitted fruit.
Pitted?
Yeah,
so apricot.
Stone
plum.
Fruit. Stone fruit.
Peach.
Can we confirm this? Mr. Producer, can you look up stone fruit? Have we already done this?
Yes.
Yeah, we have.
Never mind.
Stone fruit.
No, it's okay. You don't need to bring it up again.
No, let's just rub it in.
All right. Fine.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
No, there you go.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, cherries. Stone fruit.
Pit. All right, look, so here's the thing. But it's still...
My brother choked on a...
And a big dick?
Ooh.
Wow.
Speaking of, did you see that sweet potato one I sent you?
That was funny.
That was funny. Had veins and
I was
everything.
going to say a plum. We had to go to the hospital. He had a plum pit in his throat. And we had to take him to the hospital in Argentina. Yes, we saw your sweet potato. That was hilarious, by the way. The guy was like, good for you.
So, audience out there that has no idea what the fuck we're laughing at,
it was
Jeff sends a
really
video
funny.
of this sweet potato.
It clearly looked like a gigantic penis.
Yeah, it had the
It had veins and everything.
And someone grabs it and
he breaks it in half.
Breaks it in half, and this like it's obviously it's got the yellow orange filling in
there.
and
then it pivots to these two guys that are like looking very intently at it.
They're like, oh wow, good for you. And
no,
nice
the first
girth.
guy,
nice girth.
Yeah, that's what the first guy says. Very girthy.
Yeah, girthy.
And then the other guy goes, I thought it was, yes, we all thought it was. And then he goes, read the guidelines or something.
Yeah.
It's really funny. It's really funny. I don't know if you can find it, viewers, but look for.
I'm sure they saw it.
On TikTok, did you search for stuff like that?
I have
No.
Can you
idea.
go into TikTok and search for sweet potato that looks like a girthy sweet potato?
Girthy sweet potato.
Can you do that in TikTok?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
Does it have
Nobody gives a shit. I watch TikTok all the time. I don't give a fuck. I take a dump TikTok. I don't give a shit.
Joe Rogan says you need to get off of that. You saw that.
Well, actually,
mean?
what he said was that
The China
there's
thing?
Bad stuff. They're tracking people.
Well, the China
I don't
thing,
give a
yes,
fuck.
of course.
What are they gonna track on me?
I don't know.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't know.
Mm.
Are you? Do you make meth?
There is nothing I've got that anybody wants.
China does.
China wants you bad.
They're
All
like
right, well, they can pay
dudes
for it.
like us.
Well, you know
We
what?
need
They
them.
can take it. You know
Yeah.
what? I want
They're gonna
dudes like
hack
us
in,
to be
They're
exposed.
gonna hack into our show mid show.
What if we become huge in China? Like 1 billion listeners.
Oh, that'd be amazing. And they're like, we love your bourbon.
Oh my god, how crazy is that?
Yeah. Did I just culturally appropriate
I don't even want to.
with my accent?
I think
You know what? I wasn't actually like a Chinese person. I was a Star Wars guy.
Yeah, our dudes like us. HR
I was
departments
one of those two
rattled
Star
right
Wars
now.
guys that like, it's impossible for him to come to the door.
I don't know if he's at the door.
Okay, that's the flying guy.
Yeah, but it's Star Wars.
I know, but the Star Wars guys, remember they took heat for that.
They did.
Yeah, they sounded like they I guess they sounded like what, Japanese or something?
Oh no, that was
Asian.
the Federalists. The
Yeah,
Federalists.
Asian of some sort.
Yeah.
In Asian, I'm sorry, in the Star Wars movies, the Federalists, they're the
Yeah.
ones that sound Asian, and
Yeah.
they were comparing Jar Jar Binks as Afro American, African American.
Yeah.
I didn't get that at all.
I did.
He was just annoying.
Yeah, I was
No.
like, what the fuck you talking about? He's an
I kind of
I've never
did.
seen
He's an
any black.
amphibious
I've never
alien.
seen any black person talk or look or act like that.
yeah. I didn't get that at all.
I get the Federalist and I get the
what is
blue
it?
guy.
Meetings and you. He's so annoying.
I mean, he
Yes.
sounds just like any Sesame Street or
He
or
ruined-
a Muppet Show.
completely ruined the movie for me.
He didn't ruin it.
It
He's
was
just
bad.
part of the.
It was bad.
He ruined it.
Yeah, he was.
The flying
definitely-
guy almost saved it.
Yeah.
Anakin.
It wasn't fair.
Those are the wings.
I sold it to the Zen people.
Okay, now you're being Bill Cosby.
Oh, God. Every show it's the same thing. I got to change it. I got to come up with some different voices. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
the
Anyway,
queen.
stone fruit. You guys win. Let's move on from stone fruit. All right. We don't have any beer or anything.
Well,
There's no-
we're gonna have
There's
to
no
go downstairs
bourbon.
and
There's
get
no
some.
beer. I'm out of everything up here.
All right, well, we're approaching the finality of our first half of the Dudes Like Us podcast for October 25th. We didn't touch on a whole lot of things. We have some deaths. We talked about the Arnold Speedwagon Bill.
Well,
bass
that's new.
player's
I didn't
death.
know about that one.
We also, I want to talk a little bit about we
Torture
talked about
devices?
some professions out there that you aren't certain of whether they're going to charge you correctly or not. Well,
Charge you correctly.
now you take your car to an auto shop and you're like, I have no idea if they're charging me correctly or not.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
they have,
I mean, that's every business. You could be getting screwed all the time.
Plumber,
on the
HVAC.
second half, we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about a story where some dude broke his arm in Colorado, and they overcharged him like triple.
Wow.
Sent the bill to the auditor, but we'll talk about that. in the second
Hopefully
half.
that's not a foreshadowing story.
No, God,
Since I'm-
whoa,
You are
my
going to
dude.
Colorado.
I'm literally headed there on Thursday morning.
Thursday morning. You're gonna shoot some elk and
I'm
bring it
gonna-
home for Sean to eat.
You know what? We need to start eating the elk that I have.
Well, bitch, cook it.
Yeah.
Bitch,
Grill
I
it.
have, I don't know, 20 pounds of elk hamburger.
That's Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean,
I'm Paul.
Now, Jeff.
a big meat eater.